Hey, what's up? Handsome motherfucker here, Malta Master. You know, I'm gonna be doing the next list of my favorite metal albums. I did one last year, but my favorite albums have changed since, so I'm gonna be doing the next one now. This top 25, my favorite 25 metal albums, okay? At number 25, we got Sons of Northern Darkness by Immortal. You know, Immortal, dude, that is my favorite band in death metal. I don't listen to much death metal. I don't listen to any black metal. But Immortal is really easy to get into. And it's very melodic for most songs. And for all this list, I got, the strengths and the weaknesses. So, the strongest songs and the weakest songs. And for the strengths, I put One by One and Tyrants. Now, I know that everybody who listens to them knows those songs, but those were the ones that I first heard. That's how I got into Immortal. Those two songs, the first ones. And they're really good, dude. And for the weaknesses, I only put one song, dude, because what I'm gonna say about this one pretty much captivates my thoughts on a lot of Immortal songs, and it's the song In My Kingdom. That's a song, dude. I think that song, like many songs in death metal and black metal and folk metal and power metal, is just way too geeky. It's fine if you people listen to it, but I personally don't. Not into music that's about war and medieval times and shit like that. In My Kingdom, dude, it's about, the dude is singing about conquering castles and shit. I'm not into, going to the castle and slaying the dragon to save the princess. I don't like that. But this is still a really good album, and it still manages to be one of my top 25. At number 24, I got Northern Chaos Gods by Immortal. I believe that's still their latest. It came out, I think, 2019. Hell yeah, dude. Immortal is one of those very rare bands, dude, that gets better with time, dude. I haven't heard every single Immortal album. I heard their first, and I skipped a couple. I got to the two I said on the list, and I heard something like 5 of them. But I'll say this is their best album, dude. The strengths are Where Mountains Rise and Mighty Raven Dark, the remake. Dude, this song is so lit, dude. It's just a 9-minute masterpiece, dude. I remember when I used to listen to it last year and a couple years prior, when I used to listen to Immortal. I remember I would just put that song in the turnpike driving fast as fuck, dude. It's so epic. And number 23, I know I'm gonna piss off all you goths out there. $3 Bill, y'all, by Limp Bizkit. That's right. I don't care what the metal elitists have to say. I was once like you in one way, and that is that I did not like Limp Bizkit. I said that they're terrible. That's a really bad influence in metal. But I gave them a second listen. I gave them a second chance. The first couple times I heard them, I just dismissed it. But the second time, it low-key grew on me when I was listening to them like a month ago. This album right here, I've only been listening to this one for now. I'm gonna move on to their later albums, which I'm probably gonna like more. I honestly, I got this album on this list just to be replaced in the next list by another Limp Bizkit album, dude. Maybe Chocolate Starfish, maybe My Significant Other, but I got the strengths for this album, their debut album. I got Pollution, Counterfeit, and Stuck. Then the album starts to get sour, if you know what I mean. But that 3-song sequence went hard as fuck, dude. That's the second, third, and fourth song, I believe. And yeah, those songs are pretty lit, dude. And for the weaknesses, I only put Faith, dude. I'll say the songs after Stuck, I'll say range from bad to solid, you know. And Faith is the only one that I think, dude, I just cannot listen to this. Yeah, that song is really bad, but some of the other ones are pretty good. I was honestly pretty impressed. Number 22, I got Kane Roberts by Kane Roberts, his self-titled album. And dude, this guy is just so righteous, dude. I mean, this dude is all jacked up, you know. Not many, you know, metalheads or musicians in general look like the way that he does, dude. And that's all part of his image, you know. He has that gnarly guitar, dude. His guitar is a fucking machine gun, dude. That shoots flames, dude. I mean, Kane Roberts was a fucking badass in the 80s and 90s, and still is today in his own right, you know, and still putting out gnarly music, dude. But you know, the strengths here, I got Women on the Edge of Love. That is an 80s classic, dude. I mean, that nobody knows that song really, but it is a classic. We got Out for Blood, the first song I heard by Kane Roberts. Dude, that song is so fucking gnarly. It's totally different from the rest of the album. And dude, if you hear all the songs that I mentioned on this list, if you go listen to just one of them, listen to Out for Blood by Kane Roberts. Gorilla and Tears of Fire, another gnarly 80s classic. I've heard Saints and Sinners, his next album, and I think it's just as gnarly as this one, but I don't have it on here because I haven't heard it enough times. As the weaknesses on the album, I got Triple X and Outlaw. I didn't like those songs very much because I thought that the songwriting was corny. And number 21, I got Korn by Korn, their self-titled album, their debut. This is their best album, dude. This is a nu metal classic, dude. I mean, this was the perfect album for me from ages 18 through 21, when I was so full of rage. And I stopped listening to Korn, but I've been getting back into them since I'm making a bands that rock the world about Korn. And dude, this album is their best. This album is just, it's almost perfect, really. It's just like all these motherfuckers, dude. They were probably 24 or 23 at the time. 23 years of anger, of pain and agony poured into this album, dude. That album is so full of raw emotion, dude. It's just so gnarly. You know, the intro, Blind, that is such a gnarly way to start an album, dude. Seriously. I got that as one of my strengths, dude. Let me check out the strengths. Blind, Divine, Faggot, and Lies. I mean, Blind and Faggot are easily top 10 Korn songs. They're probably top 5, maybe stretch it out to 6. But dude, this album, man, this is such a righteous album, dude. As the weaknesses, I got Helmet in the Bush and Daddy. Now, just because Daddy is one of the weaknesses doesn't mean that I don't like it. You see, I don't really like it too much, and I don't know if this is necessarily a good song, but this is the perfect song to end the album. You know, I mean, this is just such a great way. And it definitely, I'm glad that it's on the album, even though I don't think it's that great. I'm glad it's on the album because it definitely fits the album. At number 20, I got Leprosy by Death. Now, I used to listen to Death a whole lot back last year. And dude, I haven't heard all their albums. You know, I heard, you know, more like probably 5 of them or so. And I'll say that this is the best one, dude. But let me tell you something right now. Out of all those 5 albums that I heard, dude, I did not hear one bad song. Not one bad fucking song, dude. This band is so gnarly, dude. Seriously, like the just the consistency of always putting out kick-ass songs, dude. As the strengths, I got Leprosy, Born Dead, Pull the Plug, and Choke on It. Leprosy and Pull the Plug are my favorite songs by Death. And I don't have any weaknesses, dude, because this is almost perfect. At number 19, I got Night Cobra's In Praise of the Shadow. It's the Night Cobra is a band from Texas, and they put out this album last year, dude. And I used it a bunch of times for my videos before. It's like, you know, that old school metal, dude, and it's really good, dude. And I don't have any strengths or weaknesses because it's an EP. It's only 4 songs, so I didn't really see any reason in doing that. At 18, I got Spirit Flaw's Demo 2020. It's another EP, so I don't got any strengths or weaknesses. It's another one of those albums that I put, you know, the songs in my videos, dude. I mean, these guys are fucking gnarly, dude. I don't really know, dude, if this is thrash metal or hardcore punk, dude, because, you know, sometimes bands come out, you know, bands, and, you know, they confuse you, dude, because they do like that crossover metal shit, dude. You don't know if it's punk, if it's hardcore punk, or if it's thrash metal, dude. But you know, this album is probably closer to punk, but hey, I already put it on the list, alright? Fuck it. Number 17, I got Rain in Blood by Slayer. And, you know, I was listening to this shit today, dude, and I used to listen to them a whole lot last year, not so much this year anymore, dude. So only one Slayer album this time. But this album is a fucking masterpiece, nearly perfect. The strengths: Angel of Death, Piece by Piece, Jesus Saves, Criminally Insane, and Raining Blood. Slayer is, in my opinion, easily one of the greatest musical acts in the history of music. I mean, their discography has way too many masterpiece albums, dude. Way too many. And dude, I mean, it's just tough to find a bad one, really. So with that said, number 16 is Every Dog Has Its Day by Damien. Damien is a lesser known band, you know, from the 80s and 90s, and this is their debut album. I haven't listened to their later albums, only their second album one time, but I've just been listening to this one for the past 6 or 7 months, every now and then. And the strengths, dude, are Every Dog Has Its Day, the lead single, and I Play For You. But this song, I really got it like somewhere in between the strengths and the weaknesses, dude. You know, it's like when the first 10 times I heard this album, dude, I could have sworn the singer was singing, I pray for you, I pray for you. And then, dude, just recently, I listened to it a little closer. I said, dude, is he saying I play for you? And that just made me think, like, dude, this song has a totally different definition than in meaning than I thought that it did, dude. And honestly, I didn't really care as much anymore at that point. But hey, this is a fucking righteous album, dude. I mean, it's that? This is some really good heavy metal shit, dude. And if you like heavy metal, dude, you will fucking love this band, dude. This band is gnarly. I mean, their weaknesses, I just got Possession, but that's really just my personal choice is the weakness. That's still a good song too. And I really don't know how they didn't blow up. But number 15, I got Cannibal by Static X. Now, all the people out there that are gonna bitch and complain that some of these bands have too many albums on this list, start bitching and complaining right now. Now's the time, because Static X is gonna be all over this list from now on. Cannibal by Static X, that is the first album by them I ever heard. I heard it soon after it came out. I was 9 years old, back in early 2008 when I heard it. I didn't listen to them much back then, but when I started getting back into them, something like 2 years ago, you know, I got back into them. The strengths, I got No Submission, I got Chemical Logic, and I got Destroyer, which is their lead single. And for the weaknesses, I got 40 Ways, Chromatic, and Electric Pulse. But I still like those songs, dude. I like all the songs in this album, with the exception of maybe one or two. Or all three weaknesses I named. But, you know, dude, this album is pretty gnarly, dude. You gotta check it out. And number 14, I got Wisconsin Death Trip by Static X. When I started getting back into this band 2 years ago, this was the first album that I got into. And this is their debut. For the strengths, I got Push It, I'm With Stupid, Bled for Days, I Am, Fix, and Wisconsin Death Trip, the song that the album is titled after. You know, quite a few strengths, but I had to name some of my favorites on the album. Weaknesses, I got Stem, which was decent, and I got December, which is mierda. That song is terrible. At 13, I got Fear of the Dark by Iron Maiden. Okay, I could have put their earlier albums, the shit they had in the 80s, you know. They had songs like Hallowed by Thy Name, which is my second favorite Iron Maiden song. But I decided to go with this one, dude. And I used to listen to Iron Maiden a whole lot, not really much anymore. But Fear of the Dark, dude, that's their 1992 album, before their lead singer left. For the strengths, I got Be Quick or Be Dead, From Here to Eternity, Childhood's End, Judas Be My Guide, and Wasting Love. Oh, and Fear of the Dark, my favorite Iron Maiden song ever, dude. I mean, when you're on the turnpike and then the motherfucker stops singing and all you hear is an instrumental, that's when it's time to speed up. And for the weaknesses, I got Afraid to Shoot Strangers, Fear is the Key, Weekend Warriors. You know, the songs that are at least, you know, between decent and solid, something like a 6.5 out of 10. You know what I'm saying? But man, this album is very consistent, and I don't think that there's more than maybe one song that I didn't like on this album, dude. I think it's consistent, and it's a damn good album. At 12, I got Alice in Chains, Black Makes Way to Blue. This is their comeback album that they put out back in 2009. Their lead singer, Lane Staley, had passed away back in 2002. So this was, you know, they had replaced him with William Duvall, and Jerry Cantrell moved up to the lead singer, and William Duvall was backup vocals. And William Duvall is a solid singer, okay? I think he's good. He gets a green light, he gets a thumbs up from me. But he will never fill the shoes of Lane Staley. Now let's get to this album. It's sludge metal. It's pretty slow. Normally I don't like slow music, but I really like this album. And the twist, you know, or not the twist, but the combination of hearing Jerry Cantrell and William Duvall singing at the same time, you know, hearing Jerry Cantrell and Lane Staley singing at the same time is this iconic harmonic voice that, you know, I can't even, words cannot explain, but Lane Staley to me was the best singer I ever did, but in his prime. But, you know, I think that William Duvall did a solid job on this. Like, I've pretty much been saying the same thing for the past minute, but the strengths and weaknesses, okay? Every single song on this album I put as either a strength or a weakness. Strengths, Check My Brain, Last of My Kind, Your Decision. Those songs are fucking gnarly, dude. Really. When the sun rose again, Acid Bubble, another righteous song. Take Her Out, that one's really good. Private Hell. The weaknesses, All Secrets Known, even though I like that song. A Looking in View, Lesson Learned, and Black Gives Way to Blue. At 11, I got Guarapacore by Guarapacore, their self-titled album, their only album, which is a shame. This is death metal from Venezuela. If you like death metal and you speak Spanish, listen to this band. This band is for you. It's not, you know, all that geeky shit that I don't like. Even though I mentioned Iron Maiden in the video, I got Guarapacore. They don't sing about the Black Plague and shit, dude. They sing about whatever they want to sing about, dude. You know, they probably, you know, a couple times they sang about, you know, smoking weed and shit, you know. That's what they like to do. Háblame Como Es is my second favorite death metal song ever. My favorite is Mighty Raven Dark. And dude, this album is just a must listen to people who are into death metal, if you speak Spanish. And the only weakness I got is the intro. I didn't like it too much, but this is a fucking death metal classic, dude. At number 10, I got Speak English or Die by Stormtroopers of Death. One of their two albums by the side project of Anthrax. And you know, this is a very controversial album that would not come out today. And the strengths, I got Sergeant D and the SOD, Kill Yourself, Speak English or Die, United Force is my favorite song by them, and a couple more that I'm not gonna mention, dude. And I didn't write down the weaknesses, dude, but one of the weaknesses I would say is Milano Mosh, the song that they wrote about Billy Milano, their lead singer. I didn't really like it. Number 9, I got Merciful Fate, Don't Break the Oath. I know I said I'm not into, you know, all this geeky metal shit, dude. This band is really good, dude. And Merciful Fate, I used to listen to them a whole lot, you know, for probably the past two, like 2019 and 2018, 2020. I used to listen to them a lot. And the strengths, I got A Dangerous Meeting, Night of the Unborn, The Oath, even though I think the intro is too long, Gypsy, and Welcome Princess of Hell. Yes, Welcome Princess of Hell, that's what it's called. And, you know, Dangerous Meeting is just, it's just, you can't find a better intro to your album, dude. I mean, just the beginning of that song is so radical, dude. This album, wow. For weaknesses, I got Nightmare and 2-1 Far Away. And I think that Nightmare is just too generic. It sounds like a car commercial music. And these are still good songs. Merciful Fate is one of the most influential bands, dude. And they don't get mentioned enough. King Diamond doesn't get mentioned enough. I prefer albums from Merciful Fate. At number 8, I got Spreading the Disease by Anthrax. Yeah, Anthrax, I at first glance, at first listen, I thought they were okay, but I think probably like the past 3 months or so, I started listening to them again, and they have become one of my favorite bands, dude. Anthrax, Spreading the Disease, The Strengths, Air, Lone Justice, my favorite Anthrax song, Stand or Fall, Aftershock, Armed and Dangerous, Medusa, and Gung Ho. And I don't have any weaknesses for the album. If I had to name one, I would go with Enemy, but that's still a good song. I mean, the singing is good, and the shredding, dude, is just incredible, dude. Number 7, I got Machine by Static X. That's that shit that I really love, dude. It's that mix of metal and techno or trance. And that really gets me head banging and dancing, doing freaking moves at the same time, dude. And I really like Static X. It's one of my favorite bands. Machine. For the strengths, I got Get to the Gone, Permanence, This Is Not, and In a Bag. Those songs are vibes, dude. Those songs. For weaknesses, I got Structural Defect and Adios Alma Perdida. That song is really bad. At 6, I got Among the Living by Anthrax. Dude, the first song, dude, Among the Living. It starts off, dude, they're already referencing the previous album. Disease, spreading the disease. As the strengths, I got Caught in a Mosh, I Am the Law, NFL, and Indians, which might be their best song ever, dude. I don't know, because I've only heard their first 4 albums, dude. So I'll let you guys know if that's their best song once I heard all the albums. As the weaknesses, I put Skeleton in the Closet. I think that song is really cheesy and I really don't like it. At 5, I got Astro Creep 2000 by White Zombie. You see, that's the thing, dude. White Zombie, they're always coming out with the gnarliest names for their songs and their albums, dude. And the names are pretty cool. And this was the last album that they ever worked on, dude. They put this out in '95. And after this came out their remix albums, you know, super sexy swinging sounds and shit. And White Zombie's Astro Creep 2000, dude, this is a party album, dude. And it's I listened to this shit on the turnpike on the way to my man Greystone's house. And the songs on this album are pretty hit or miss, you know, with the exception of a, you know, Creature of the Wheel. I'll say something in between a strength and a weakness. But as the strengths, I got Electric Head Part 1, Electric Head Part 2. I got Supercharger Heaven, my favorite song by the band. I got iZombie, More Human Than Human, and Blur the Technicolor. And for the weaknesses, I have Grease Paint and Monkey Brains, Blood, Milk, and Sky, and The Sidewalk Ends Where the Bug Parade Begins. Yeah, those are bad songs. But great album, I really like it. Or I like the songs that I enjoy. At number 4, I got Start a War by Static X. Dude, this album is so lit. I mean, the songs, the strengths, the enemy, I'm the One, Pieces. Pieces is one of my favorite Static X songs. Set It Off, Astigo Amigo. The only weakness I noted was Just In Case. I really don't like that song. Number 3, I got Shadow Zone by Static X, their 3rd album. And now that is their best album, dude. And it's got their best songs on it. I mean, Shadow Zone by Static X, dude. That's my favorite Static X album. As the strengths, I got Destroy All, the first song. dude. Then I got Control It, the second song. Dude, Control It. I don't know why that song didn't have a music video, man. That song should have been a single. Seriously. That song is an anthem to all the Static X fans, dude. New Pain, Shadow Zone, Shadow Zone. And that was the Dead World, dude. Dead World, Monster, All in Way, Astigo Electric, Kill Your Idols. Dude, this album is righteous. Man, I gotta listen to this album again today, even though I've been listening to it, you know, for the past couple of days, you know, because there does not go a week by I don't listen to Static X, Alice in Chains, Anthrax, Sum 41, you know, my favorite bands. But I digress. I'm gonna stop talking my ass off. Weaknesses, Soul, which is still a decent song, and Transmission, which I like all these songs. Okay. At number 2, back to my favorite band, we got Facelift by Alice in Chains. This is their debut album. You know, I'm not counting their demos like Sweet Alice. You know, this is their first album, right? And dude, my God, Alice in Chains, man. Lane Staley, Jerry Cantrell, Mike Inez. At this point, it was Mike Starr. You know, Sean Kinney. Dude, these guys are icons, man. This is my favorite band ever, dude. Seriously, as the strengths, we got We Die Young, Man in the Box, which is one of the greatest. The chorus on this song might be the greatest chorus ever. It's to me one of the probably the 3 right now off the top of the head greatest choruses ever. It's there with the, what the fuck is this lady's name? Amy Houston, Amy White. I will always love you. I will always love you, and I'll tell you all about some of the other ones later. And you know, Man in the Box, Bleed the Freak, Love Hate Love, that's another one that I think of as the greatest singing performances and songs, dude. Love Hate Love, that's, to me, I think that is the best song on this album, dude. I mean, seriously, that's my favorite on this album. No weaknesses, no. I mean, you know, some songs aren't as good as the strengths. Songs like Real Thing and Confusion. And what was that Blackmail song? Shit, I forgot the name of it. I'll put it on the screen. But dude, you know, those songs aren't as good, but I still really like those songs, dude. I just can't put anything in the weaknesses. There are no weaknesses. And before I get to number 1, I want to talk about the honorable mentions. These are 3 albums that could have made it but didn't. Method of Destruction's Gross Misconduct, I haven't heard it enough times. Fistful of Metal by Anthrax, I've only heard this something like 15 times, dude. It's definitely gonna be on my next list next time I do this. And I also got Black Denim Rage's State of Emergency that I haven't heard enough times. You know, that's one of the little local bands by my area. You know, they play good. And I didn't put it in as my honorable mentions, but I have a feeling that Saints and Sinners by King Roberts might have a place in next time's list. Number 1, I got Dirt by Alice in Chains. You all should have seen this coming. You all should have seen this coming, dude. Alice in Chains, my favorite band ever. You know, their best album ever. That is my favorite. I think that this is the greatest album in music. I can make a bunch of cases for that. I used to say that you have to be stoned, you have to be high to understand the album, dude, because you know, you listen to it and you can tell that these motherfuckers were on drugs while they were making it. But that's not true, dude. You can be sober and totally enjoy this album and understand it, man. I mean, you know, it's really sad that drugs put an end to my favorite band ever, doing the greatest singer to have ever lived, in my opinion. And this is easily one of the greatest musical acts ever. The Strengths. Them Bones, dude. That is the greatest intro to any album. You cannot begin your album better than that. Them Bones, dude. That is such a perfect fucking intro, dude. Seriously. You know, it's in this, it's just at the top tier, dude. Seriously, it's in the same league as Blind by Korn, A Dangerous Meeting by Merciful Fate. But I still think Them Bones is the best. It's better than those two songs I named. Seriously, dude. That is my favorite song ever. All music is Them Bones. Damn That River. Damn That River. The sound gives me vibes of the first song on Facelift, which was We Die Young. I think We Die Young is actually better. The next strength I got for Dirt is Down in a Hole. You know, that's that iconic MTV live performance back in 1996. You know, when Jerry Cantrell was really, it was magnificent that night, dude. I kind of wish I would have heard more singing from him on Down the Hole, to be honest. Rooster. This is probably their best song, dude. This might be the greatest song in music, man. Rooster. The song that was inspired by Jerry Cantrell's grandfather, who was a Vietnam soldier. This song is about the Vietnam soldiers. I got Godsmack, and that singing, Lane Staley only did it one time for this song, and it's a damn good song. I got Hate to Feel, and I got Wood. Dude, Wood is such a righteous outro, man. Well, you know, this song, I'm just trying to express how much I love this band, dude, and this song. As the weaknesses, weaknesses on this album. Can you believe that? I had the audacity to write down weaknesses. Sick Man and Dirt, but those are really good songs, and I really like them. But hey, I had to put something in the weaknesses, you know? I had to put something. Man, this album, Dirt by Alice in Chains, is my favorite album ever, dude. It is the greatest album ever. So that's it. That's my top 25 metal albums. You know, everybody knows that metal is my favorite genre in music. And I really love bands like Anthrax and Alice in Chains, dude, and Static X. And that's all I gotta say. And all you metalheads and rockers out there, keep rocking, dude. Just rock and roll.